Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this review of Hollerwood Off-Road Park. This park is located in Slade, Kentucky off exit 11 on Mountain Parkway. For this review, I'll be doing a quick overview of the park and then ranking it in 10 categories on a scale of 1 to 10. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, like I said earlier, this place is located in Slade, Kentucky off exit 11 on Mountain Parkway. It's also located right near the Natural Bridge and Red River Gorge State Park. Alrighty, let's start it off with the size category. Now, Hollerwood has about 10,000 acres of land if you include all the land that is surrounding the area. So, in Kentucky and in basically just the Ohio Valley area, that is pretty big. Most parks around the area have about 2,000 to 5,000 acres of land. So, 10,000 acres, that's quite a bit. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So next up, let's talk about some mud. Now for this category, this is when you want to go out with your big old Polaris 850 or a big old Can-Am 1000 four-wheeler and go find every mud hole that you can, come 2 inches from sinking your four-wheeler and leaving completely drenched in mud. Now, Hollerwood definitely does have some mud holes and definitely has some areas that get pretty deep. They have a big old creek on the south side that a lot of people drive through, and it can get deep in some spots, I'm not going to lie. But during the dry months, it can get pretty hard to find a deep mud hole, and they get pretty spread out. So, I'll give it about a 5 out of 10, definitely because it has some good areas, but can be a little hard during the dry months, such as July. Next up is the rock climbing category. Now, Hollerwood is full of big old rocks, especially on the north side. There is just a big old area that is full of huge boulders that are going to take a Jeep or a Volkswagen or something big to go up. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Next up is the hill climbing category. Now this is where there's a big old flat part at the bottom and then there's just a bunch of hills that you get to go up for fun. Now, I will say Hollerwood is lacking. It definitely has some. I'm not going to lie. I like the ones that are there. It has 2 areas that have some big old hills. One of them is a parking lot if the other 2 main parking lots get too crowded on a big day or something. But the other one it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. And it can hold an event pretty well. But compared to some in the area, especially like Wildcat and Mine Made, it's lacking a little bit. So I'm going to give it a 4. Next up is the sights category. Now this is a place where Hollerwood shines. There are a ton of sights at this park. There are multiple overlooks that are thousands of feet in the air, and you can just see, it looks like forever when you get to the top of them. It's beautiful up there. And there are also multiple caves in the area that are pretty simple to get to. The Townsend Cave is definitely one of them. It is not hard to get to. I'm not going to say it's not hard, but it's definitely not easy for a four-wheeler or a dirt bike to get to. Side-by-side can get through it pretty easily. But a four-wheeler or a dirt bike, you might have a little bit of trouble, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Next up is the cleanliness category. Now, Hollerwood is pretty clean. I'm going to be honest here. And it is going the extra mile to tell you to pack it in and pack it out because there are signs around the park that say pack it in, pack it out. So, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next up is the day park category. Now, getting through Hollerwood in a day is, I'm not going to lie, pretty much impossible. It is a big park. So, but there is a good chunk of land that you can get through in a day and a lot of stuff that you can see in a day. So, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Next up is the distance category. Now, Hollerwood is pretty remote. I'm not going to lie. It's about a 15-minute drive from Slade and about a 30-minute drive from a decently sized city like Campton or Stanton. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 because it's pretty good ways from any part or any city that's nearby. Next up is the parking category. Now, this is to show how big the parking lot is and how easy it is to get a trailer in there. Hollerwood has a pretty decent sized parking lot. It has two big lots right by the office. There's a second parking lot right down the road, which is like 30-second drive. And there actually is another parking lot if those two parking lots get full, but it's a little bit of a rough trail to get to while pulling a trailer. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because there's a lot of parking, even though it may be a little bit difficult to get to. And last but not least is the event category. Now this is the category where you can see either you're holding some big race, some sort of hill climbing race, or just a big shindig where you're going out and riding with a big old group. Now Hollerwood, definitely you can ride around with a big group and have plenty of room to ride. But hosting like a little hill climb race or something like that, you might have a little bit of difficulty, but there is definitely an area to do that, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Alrighty, so I added it all up and Hollerwood scored a 7 out of 10. This is definitely a great park to go to if you just want to get up, go, and ride. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to put in the comments below what y'all would like to see next. Would you like to see me review a four-wheeler, dirt bike, side-by-side, dealership, park, whatever? Put it in the comments below. I'll be sure to read it. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.